Let's talk now about lead magnets and how to create them. So what is a lead magnet? Let's dig into that concept now. A lead magnet, it's a sign-up incentive. And so you may know it as a sign-up incentive or an opt-in incentive. It's basically anything that you offer someone that's designed in order for them to sign up for your email list. And so you give them a free report, for example, in exchange for them giving you their email address. So a lead magnet has two particular must-haves whenever you're creating them. It must have specificity and value. So it needs to be specific because it has to be designed with a specific problem of your target audience in mind. It should definitely resonate with the people who are likely to become your customers, those leads that you're looking to get. Lead magnets, of course. And second, it needs to be valuable. If your target audience perceives it as valuable, they're going to fill in the form. They're going to submit their email address so they can have it. And if your lead magnet actually delivers the promise that you are looking to achieve and it provides a real value to them, they may even share it with others and help you reach more people and remain, an engaged subscriber of yours. They trust your content and what you deliver. So let's go over just a few examples of types of content that could be used as a lead magnet. Ebooks, primary research reports. Basically, that means reports based on research that you've done yourself. PDFs. This could, for example, often accompany blog posts. Video how-tos. Podcasts. Different tools that you may create. Courses or maybe checklists. And courses could be a good example and do have a lot of benefits, but I do want to point out that often lead magnets must offer immediate gratification, because your market wants a solution and they want it immediately. And so a course doesn't always fit the best criteria for a lead magnet, but they are excellent sources of content to create. And in fact, we're actually going to work on creating one in this program. But so you could consider if you want this to be, if a course that you would create, an online course would be your lead magnet, only because it doesn't necessarily give that immediate gratification like something like a, PDF that you've downloaded as a check or created as a checklist, or some type of, ebook that you've created, or a primary research report. So you could consider that as well. And so why at this stage, so early in our list building program, are we talking about a lead magnet? Well, it's because it's going to help us get results and fast. People aren't just going to share their personal information like an email address with you without some type of good incentive. That is why you need to offer them something valuable in return, and that's why we're doing something so early in the program. So adding a lead magnet and taking a couple of hours to actually write a good one is for sure going to deliver your results. It is completely worth doing, and your lead magnets don't have to be long or complex or time intensive. And in fact, and we'll go over this a bit more in just a bit, a long and complex lead magnet will likely convert poorly. And so it really is about delivering really specific value information in really, easily digestible ways, because that's really how people want to get their information. So how should you create your lead magnet? Number one, this is the most important, it must be exclusive and specific content. So real success with a lead magnet comes when you can actually give people the information that they cannot find anywhere else. You must be unique. You simply need to solve a specific problem with a specific solution for a specific segment of your market. And so, as you can see and hear, it must be specific and exclusive to you. And you also need to find information that's applicable to your industry. So an idea and a trick for getting some ideas for an amazing lead magnet for your industry, for the market that you're really looking to reach, go to the forums or the blogs that are in your industry. Surely you know of some, and we're going to spend some time looking for more of them, so don't worry about that. And go ahead and look for conversation threads or posts that are most popular. And you can see the ones that get the most comments. Check out the comments there and start making notes. See what people are actually talking about on some of these industry sites that are, applicable to you. You can also look for inspiration on social media. Find out which pages on the different social sites are important, where they have lots of followers. And for example, if you're a B2B consultant, you would definitely want to be checking out the different LinkedIn groups available as well. The next place you can go to try and find some inspiration, see what people are actually interested in, is go to YouTube. Certainly, probably your industry and market has, some type of presence on YouTube. So you need to go to the videos, of course, that have the most views, but also, of course, as all of these, go and read the comments. Pay attention to what types of questions people are asking, really hear directly from the source. Amazon reviews are also a really cool place to go and check out. They can tell you a lot of information, especially from the mindset that people are in when they're buying things. Not necessarily for books, but if they're buying information or buying, something else specific, within your industry, you can actually notice negative reviews or positive reviews and just see what people are talking about. And go directly to the source. You can survey your audience. You have your GetResponse account, so you're actually all, teed up to make surveys. Surveys are included within your GetResponse account, and they're excellent. And so a couple of example questions that you could send if you already have a list of contacts that you're looking to grow even larger. If with your existing, house list, as we call it, you could ask them, what's your biggest frustration with your marketing efforts? And the second question could be, what do you want to know that you haven't been able to find? What's still, really troubling you about, conducting your business? And this goes back to what we talked about offering information they can't get anywhere else. And if you're actually asking them, what can't you find? You're likely to really get some specific information that would totally help you come up with exactly what your lead magnet should be about. And keep it simple. So the reality is that people don't want to read a lot. They don't want to have to spend hours going through something that's the length of a, small book. They're looking for you to really distill the information that you've gathered and is available to give them the answers to their question to solve their problem fast. And so, for example, it's not uncommon for a checklist to actually outperform a huge report that you've done. It takes, many hours of work because people need something that helps them right now. And so please don't think this lead magnet you're about to create is going to take you, months worth of work. It shouldn't. It hopefully should take you a couple of hours. So remember, what is going to make a good lead magnet for you to be able to offer to people and entice them to sign up? No more than 2 to 5 pages long. It should be available in a PDF format or something, easily accessible by people. Highly visual. You need to include images. You need to include your contact information as well and make it super specific. And so regarding that contact information, it's basically so people can find you again. It's quite possible if you actually do a good job with your lead magnet, someone who subscribes to your email list will actually pass maybe your lead magnet on to another person. And so, of course, the person who initially downloaded your lead magnet provided their email address, but they may pass on that document or that file to a friend or a colleague. And so if you've got your basic information there, your company name, your email address, your website, things like this, it makes it easier for people to find you and hopefully sign up for your list as well. And making it visual is important, including those images. Just makes it, easier to read, and it's more interesting if it's not just blocks and blocks of text. You need to make sure there's some graphic elements there. And you also need to make sure when you're making it visual that you add a logo. If you don't yet have a logo, there's lots of, ways on the, world of the internet now to get yourself a cheap logo made. So it's professional and it's something that's going to serve you, well into the future. So, for example, I'm not sure if you've heard of Fiverr, but it's a really cool site where you can go and find people who are doing all kinds of different marketing work, for example, graphic design, and you can pay someone to design a logo for you, and it's completely affordable. So definitely it's a cool place to go to check out. I recommend that. And there's lots of free photograph resources out there, lots of places to get stock images that look great, Unsplash, Pexels. You want copyright-free photos, for example, so they're basically free to use on marketing pages like yours. And you could also have, so your graphic illustrates an idea or a system. It's basically what we call in marketing an infographic. And so if it's like a system or a concept you can actually illustrate in a graphical way, that's really valuable. So it's not actually something you type out and write, but it's kind of more so designed. That's a pretty good idea for a lead magnet as well. And so if you need a little bit more inspiration, I've prepared and gathered just a few example lead magnet titles for a few industries that I've come across. So for consultants, here's a few examples, 5 ways to tell if a SEO consultant knows their stuff, or the ultimate wedding checklist, or how to tell if you're ready for a life coach. Things like that. You know what you click on and what you see, the how-to, the 5 ways or 10 lies. That's interesting for people. Affiliates. I've seen some things like the ultimate, online marketing resource list, the definitive guide to internet marketing. Definitive guides do well in terms of conversion. So if you wanted to write the definitive guide for your industry, that would be, a pretty big job, a pretty big report. So it would take you some time, but it would certainly be valuable in the long term for you. But maybe you could make it even like a subtopic in your industry. So, for example, the definitive guide for writing amazing report titles. Something really specific that wouldn't take you a long time. E-commerce, 15% off for something, or some type of free gift, or entries into an online contest to win some number of the merchandise that's available. So just things like this. So think about the things that you click on, that you're interested in, that you've previously submitted your email address to gain access to something. Think about that, but something that's going to be specific, new,